There you go.
There we go. We're on massive alpha, but also a little bit of lag.
A little bit of lag.
Just bear with us while we get this all sorted, guys. A couple of technical difficulties. How are we today, guys? How is everybody going? What a fantastic couple of days. Why is it picking?
Yours isn't on. Sorry, guys. Seds is the one having a bit of technical difficulties these days with the red on the mic. These mics are very sensitive. So, guys, while Seds has a quick look at the lag, smash the like button, get us trending. We need as much help as possible to get this thing pumping. We have a heap of alpha prepared for you guys today. There's a bit going on in the market, and there's some really good setups that I'm personally looking at. We had a potential breakout on Bitcoin over the last couple of days. Seeing a little bit of red on the charts today, but at the same time, there is still a lot of exciting stuff going on in the background. So I think we've got a fair few things to cover today. We're going to check the little Pepe pre-sales, of course. We're going to see where that's at, see what stage we're up to. We have been, I think we're at stage 4, stage 5 nearly, and only about 14 more to go. And we've got some massive news that we're going to share at the end of this podcast. So make sure you stay tuned for the entire duration. We have an absolute ripper planned. It's starting next Thursday and could potentially involve many of you. So it is very, very exciting times.
And it's not what you're expecting. I just want to say that.
You got to be careful about that one, the way we phrase that.
It's
so
not what
it's going to be definitely an exciting time and something that we've been putting together for, I won't say for too long. I think it really came about. We had an idea of what we were doing, but this here has really been one of those ones where we've just sort of come in, worked it out all of a sudden. The idea kept evolving and evolving. Originally, we're flying around. Next minute, we're doing something else. So we'll share that with you guys really soon. It is looking really, really exciting with what we're putting together. So I can't wait.
100%.
Are we getting a bit of 360p going on with the video frame, or are we good?
I've lowered that purposely so that we don't crash the computer.
I had to double check what was going on there. All right, this is exciting. So, guys,
Bitcoin. Let's talk about Bitcoin.
Let's talk about Bitcoin.
So, wow, I can't believe it. Maddie, your mic is picking me up, bro. So if you can just move over there slightly.
There we go.
Hello. No, it's... Oh, I know what's happening. Starlight mic, do not touch, is on number 5, which it should be on. There we go. No. All right.
Have you touched one of the mics? Something's going on here.
7 and 5. Can you guys hear double the audio? Sounds good. Says it's a little bit quiet. Just let us know,
both the mics are picking up from the same one.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat if you can hear us okay. Weird. That's it. That's the one. Right. You can hear. Sounds fine. The guys are saying, oh, well, everything's sounding fine. Let's power on. Right? Everything's fine. It's fine. Yep, it's good now. All right. Okay, so let's get stuck into it because there's a lot happening in the markets right now, guys. Bitcoin is looking like it's pushing up towards its all-time high. And there is a reason for that. There's something that we need to discuss. But I did cover this on my live call on Monday. But Trump has come out and done his big, beautiful bill. If you guys are aware of what happened in relation to this big, beautiful bill, it was not so long ago when Elon Musk and Trump, they had a bit of a feud with one another over social media. They were losing it quite hard at one another. More or less because Elon Musk wanted to cap the amount of money that the US government is spending, and Trump turned around and said, no, we are going to spend some more. And what we found from that was historically, when there is more money in circulation, what we can find is that the market tends to go up because the dollars get printed. And when dollars get printed, more comes into circulation. The value of that dollar can lose its value. It can come down in value. When we see that, that's when we see things like Bitcoin and potentially some stocks or other assets go up. Now, let's take that into consideration because we're seeing that last week, Trump's big, beautiful bill that Elon Musk didn't want to get passed, Trump went and slipped this little piece of segment into the bill as Elon Musk was, as all this attention was going on. And what he's come out and said that they're going to increase the debt by $5 trillion. Now, we all looked at this and said, well, right now there is, $37 trillion of debt in the US. Definitely. No, it could be. It could be. We have to look at that. Huge. So we're looking right now, 37 trillion. That'll be raised for up to $42 trillion. And if that happens, we can see a lot more dollars come into circulation, which historically has kicked off a bit of a kind of a bullish sentiment within the markets. Now, going back to, yeah. No, not personally. Mate, I think the longer the US government continues, just the more debt that's going to be printed. And that's why, like myself, why I'm personally quite bullish on Bitcoin, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, where does this end? You know, where does this come to an end? Stop printing. No. I think that how to get out. Yeah. Sellers, mic's gone. Oh my God, guys, we are having proper. We can trade like machines, all right. But when it comes to tech, we decided that we need to get somebody in to be our guy.
Something's gone on. It's picking. Oh, there we go. No, we're good. Guys, can you hear us now?
How's that? Sid's been talking to himself for about a minute. That's all right.
There we go. Look, see, now we're moving at separate paces. I knew we were on the wrong ones.
You know what? This is what makes us us. This is our character. This is who we are. Like, we try our best, all right? We are...
Hey, you know what? But we had 2 weeks, no technical difficulties. We fixed the cameras. We got the lights. We got the mics. Everything is on point now, so we pretty much are good to go.
Yeah, it is one of those things. It is a bit of a hit.
There we go, guys. We're happy days. We're good to kick on. Well, what we were saying, right? We'll get straight to the point. We don't beat around the bush here.
Wayne Marsh in the chat. Lucky your good looks take over. Thank you so much. I think you're talking about Maddie's good looks over there.
What we were talking about, guys, is that debt ceiling. I was saying to Seds, I said, do you ever think that debt ceiling is ever going to come down? Because the reality is, right, whenever we think it's going to go down, and we monitor this really closely at Empire, right? We all watch it as a team. Every time we think it might, something might happen, might come down, nope, we're going to raise the debt. Next administration, got to raise the debt. So $37 trillion to 42.
42 trillion is a lot of debt.
We were saying, if someone wants to find this in the comments, we'll throw this out to the community. We're wondering, is this the biggest debt raise or debt ceiling raise in history? $5 trillion in one hit.
I think it could be. So what we saw was that was going to happen. He put this piece of legislation into his big, beautiful bill, and it got passed. As of yesterday, we can see that the Senate has passed Trump's big, beautiful bill in 51 to 50 vote. It came really close. And that is now going to allow for the debt to be raised, therefore more money printing to come into circulation. Now, we're going to go back and have a look at some data on this in a second. But, Maddie, if you want to just share your chart and show us how has the market reacted and what are we looking at expecting in the near term. And, guys, if you are enjoying this content so far, please help us spread the word of what we're doing here by giving us a like, giving us a share. You don't understand, but just that small little like from you takes you 2 seconds, and it really does help us to expand our reach. It makes all the difference for us.
Makes a massive difference. So, guys, we had a look at this on Tuesday night. We had our scan. So I was discussing out the market, and basically what I was saying is we're probably going to come in this higher low. So you can see here, we basically came back down to that 104,900-ish mark. I was thinking it would probably come a little bit lower, 104,500, that 3.8 level, just to support off what a lot of you guys would know is the 50 EMA. So we've had that bounce. Now, I'm monitoring this really closely because, as you can see here, we've basically had this breakout point that's occurred. Now, this blue line that you can see at the top, I'll make this really, really simple for everyone. Just switch over to the weekly time frame for a second. It is the midpoint range of this order zone that continues to get smashed, still holding up from basically the January 20th, 2025. So that there is really where I'm looking for Bitcoin to pass up. That is around 109,500 is really the big kicker that I am looking at. And you can see here when we switch to the daily time frame, that's where price keeps getting hit at and basically come back down. Now, we've got this trend line. It is crystal clear as anything. There's a clear trend there. Now, zooming down a little bit further, we can see there is a heap of resistance above. However, this is what I'm thinking is going to happen. We come back down, we're going to retest this trend, we're going to retest it hard, see if it holds up. We're going to get a lot of volatility coming in. I think we're going to see the alts, they're starting to pull back already, man. The alts just get smashed the moment Bitcoin comes down. Bitcoin dominance is just on a tear consistently.
We're going to look at some pretty good alts later as well, aren't we? We're going to show you guys
definitely going to look at the alts. Yeah. But guys, to wrap up this, I'm thinking we come back down, we retest this trend. You can see a nice simple arrow. Go back up. I've got a target of 111,000 on Bitcoin as the next major level. If we can get past that, I'm calling it. I'm calling 114,600 on Bitcoin is the next all-time high.
You reckon?
Straight on the money.
All right. Well, let's see how that plays out, guys, because we do
obviously no financial advice, but it's my prediction.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah. Well, mate, I think we're going to have a lot of Wait, is that live stream going off? What's going on here? It looks like it might be lagging or something. All right, so just going back to that, I just want to show you guys something that I'm also currently looking at, and that's that we saw that the US House has come out and said that they are designating July 14th to 18th as the crypto week. And make sure you guys stay tuned with us because I'm going to show you guys what you need to look out for in order to see a good response within the market. One of the most important things is these guys have come out and said crypto week this, crypto week that, and it does build hype up to that kind of event. We're going to call it an event. And then what we find is just the standard crypto mentality that a lot of people have is, buy the rumor and sell the news. And look, one of the things that, we're considering right now is something that should be considered in everyone's trading these days, especially considering that the market doesn't react like it used to once upon a time, is the liquidation levels. So look, I'm thinking that we could see, like you're saying, a bit of bullish momentum, given the fact that what I'm about to show you guys comes true. But we can see that right now we are building a bit of a liquidation level around that 109K. Wouldn't surprise me if that goes and gets swept before potentially heading up. But Matty, what are your thoughts on that? What are you thinking, mate?
I had a look at this chart before. If you want to bring it up, does everyone see that one, right? But sorry. There we go. I think personally, like I was saying earlier, and similar to where your liquidations are, we've got a lot of liquidity, a lot of resistance sitting above this range here. So you see there's big order zones that are predicted to be quite difficult to get through. But in saying that, we are seeing a steady rise on Bitcoin at the moment, right? Despite these small pullbacks that have occurred, we are steadily pushing through those orders. So we've retested them last night. We pushed all the way up to 110,500. I'm pretty sure that was within the London zone as well, on the London time frame. And then there was a bit of battle between London and the US. So we've come down today. I am really curious to see where the US push the market tonight and whether or not we go to tackle that order zone again. Mm-hmm. And like I'm saying, I think if anything, we get that slight pullback now during the London session, things will cool off a little bit. But I honestly believe in my approach at the moment, I think there isn't really much holding back the market for unless we know this one. This is the kicker last night. So I reckon I want to pivot into that conversation. Pass it here.
There is one thing that's holding me back right now from being in full perma bull mode. I'm sorry, guys out there that just want to hear bullish news, but our job at Empire is to show both biases. We're not financial advisors. We'll show you what we're looking at. We show you the data. You guys go ahead, make your own decisions. We're not going to tell you when to trade. But what we are going to do is we're going to show some data. And one of the really key important points was what Jerome Powell came out and said last week, and what Fed Bowman also said was they're open to cutting interest rates. And we know as traders, if you come and have a look at every time interest rates were cut, perfect example would be in May 2019, as well as what we saw in May 2024. Whilst I'm not going to open up a chart on that right now, if you guys were to go back and check those two dates, what you would have found is that that basically put in a pivot or some kind of a bottom within the market before we got a bit of a pump. Now,
one thing that we are waiting for is those interest rates to come down. And one thing that we're focusing on heavily will be the unemployment claims. That's probably one of the biggest events to take note of over this next month, as well as the CPI data. If the CPI data comes in on Tuesday, if that comes in lower than what we have expected, it's actually not loading right now on my screen for some reason, mate. We really are lacking on the tech these days.
I think it's just the internet maybe bugging out today.
Something's just happening. It's one of them days.
Carlin did just remind me, it's Independence Day.
Oh, that's tonight, is it?
The 4th of July. So there is no US markets open tonight.
Is that when they have the turkey?
No, that's Thanksgiving.
Oh, I knew that. I was just testing that. Anyway. So, yeah, what Fed Jerome Powell wants to see is the CPI come lower. And you can see that here, the last month, the forecast was 2.5. It came in at 2.4. If we see a negative reading on the CPI, if we see this come down, maybe 2.2, something like that, there is rumours right now that anything below 2.3 could indicate that we may get a rate cut in July. Now, whilst that's not yet confirmed, there was a lot of talk about it up until this morning. And that was mainly due to the fact that the unemployment came in better. Now, for those who are new to this and want to learn what this means, that's because when unemployment is high and when people don't have many or more people becoming unemployed, what we find is that the Fed, they like to cut rates because it helps to stimulate their economy, get people back into jobs, help businesses. But if unemployment is coming down, that's showing, well, hey, we're not at a point where we need to inject more money into the economy. Everything's running as it should. Let's not print extra money. So we are keeping our eyes really closely on unemployment and CPI, as that could be one of the major indicators for a potential of a rate cut. And yeah, just rate cuts in general have provided extra liquidity into the markets, which have been bullish. Now, that all looks good, like I was saying, until the unemployment came in.
We saw a $1,000 candle straight down on Bitcoin as soon as the announcement came out.
Look, I'm still hopeful. The rates have dropped, though. On my call that I did on Tuesday, there was a much higher chance of rates. There was, I think, a 94% probability that, I was sharing the wrong screen, 94% probability that we were going to get a rate cut in September. That has now dropped to 66%. 69.1%.
That was 95% last week.
Yeah, 94.
Yeah.
That was all. So that's why, like, this unemployment news and
it threw it 30% nearly.
It's 30% difference.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. That's why we need to really focus on what these results are coming at us, because they're going to be two major critical things that are going to move the markets over these. I'm predicting at least the next month, because the market really needs these rate cuts. So definitely a couple of things to look out for. We could have get, like, personally, the way I'm looking at this is, are we still going to get cuts? You know, that the market loves certainty. There's no two way about it.
Oh, the market hates uncertainty. Hates it with a passion.
So when we go from a 93% chance of rate cuts, how is that now going to look when it comes to, well, this has changed now?
It's really the definition of the overall market. This entire period, the market has been uncertain.
It has.
Despite the pumps, the dumps, like, you look at that chop, it is a direct reflection of the global economies, the global interface in which we've seen with the wars, with interest rate rises, potential decreases, no decreases, unemployment, like, just absolute chaos.
Yeah.
Like, it's just uncontrollable at the moment. I feel like it's knee-jerk reactions that are really trying to fix these problems without any true solution. And I am interested to see, A, how the debt ceiling changes things, B, when are these interest rates actually going to come in and make a difference? I think everyone is feeling the punch from a general standpoint. But man, I just look at the politicians at the moment, and it is all over the shop. So, but guys, this is why we look at this data, because this data does make a fundamental difference to understanding what could be the long-term predictions or what could be the long-term implications. And I know myself, and Sed's going to jump into a couple of things here, but I know myself, I manage not just a crypto portfolio, I have a shares portfolio, I have other assets you've got to consider, and all these multiple things that are going on in the world completely throw at the dynamic and the balance
Definitely. Well, look, I guess that's our analysis on Bitcoin. Really, we're playing it safe, but we need to look at altcoins. We're going to do that right now. But just in regards to Bitcoin, we're playing it safe. We're waiting for a bit more certainty. Things are looking towards the positive side with these potential of rate cuts, and now with the big spending bill coming in. Personally, I am bullish myself, but in saying that, this is not financial advice.
You're always bullish.
I am personally quite bullish, but in the same time, I'm making sure that I'm ready, that if we come for a dip, that I'm prepared for that. And that's one of the major things. And that's why,
definitely
a lot of people who are out there trading, some of them are better off just trading spot rather than, having a double in leverage and adding on additional risk. Because, look, I think long term, the more money gets printed, the more if rates start to come down, I think that, coming into the next couple of months, the market could be quite bullish. But what about the roller coaster journey in between from where we are now to when that happens? Well, it's just going to...
I personally hate the roller coaster.
Oh, me too, but I don't like roller coasters.
I like the chop when it's a bit consistent and you can get some trades in. Like you can ride an 8-9% trade, and then if you have to short it, you short it. Like big deal. Don't care about that. But I hate the whole we'll move 0%, 1%, 2%, boom, 8% down.
Yeah.
Like give me some sort of consistency so I can play around with the market.
Definitely. Guys, we have got 33 people watching and 17 likes. If we get 3 more likes, I'm going to share you guys a juicy altcoin that I've been looking at. And I'm going to show you guys some data as to why I'm looking at it. But so 3 more likes. Let's see that happen. Guys, let's go into some altcoin news, because there was a big development that came through last night, and I think that we need to discuss it. And, well, that was the Solana staking ETF. It's officially live. It's happened.
It's officially live,
It's happened. But we haven't seen a big impact on Solana just yet. Matty, what are you looking at on Solana? You want to just...
I'll bring on my Solana chart, because this is one of the altcoins I am heavily watching. So give me 1 second, guys. Here we are. So the one altcoin I am watching is Solana. It is also... You have to wait and find out. Now, guys, you can see here, I am watching Solana really closely. So we've basically had a really nice bounce off this bull flag, hit my DCA point to an absolute T, $126. Now, we're potentially starting to get this breakout, but do need to break out of this zone. And this zone is around an $155 mark. This is what I'm watching for. For the TA people on here, very, very simple. Nice clean double bottom with the higher low. We got the push, something that I was talking about. Now we're sort of bobbling along here on just outside the range. And this is where I'm saying, if Bitcoin can get up and go and get that leg to 111K, it's going to help a couple of these alts to break out of this resistance point. But we needed to do it on a consistent basis, not this chop, $1,000 candle up, $1,000 candle down. It just keeps destroying it. Now, a little bit of one that I'm also watching alongside Solana is the Sol BTC chart. Yes. Now, this one here is a big one. Now, I'm going to just walk you guys through this, what I'm seeing. Similar sort of situation, but this is sitting really at the bottom of the range in this respect. You can see here right in this big order zone. Now, on the daily time frame itself, for the TA guys, again, nice double bottom reversal pattern, multiple retests. So lining up very closely with the Sol USDT chart, I'm watching this one. You can see the range on this, right? If you look to the left, this is just cut through here multiple times. You've got a nice range of about 20%. I am watching it closely again. I do own some Solana as well, but I am looking for some good trading opportunities on this one. So I think, look, again, a lot of this is heavily relied upon about Bitcoin and what it's planning to do, and we do need the alts to get up and start moving. So,
just on Solana, I want to ask you a question right now.
Fire away.
When the Bitcoin ETF got approved,
yes,
what did we see? It was like, yeah, we're bullish, but we saw a big dump to the downside.
Do I tell a funny story about this one?
Yeah, come on.
All right. So what Seds is saying. You finish your point first. I got the story.
Tell me.
All right, guys. So the story with this was we were waiting for the Bitcoin ETF to be launched, and we rode the whole thing up.
Oh, we've done good there.
Right, we did well. But the moment it got released, I fell asleep on the couch. I was out cold to the world. I woke up to like 4 or 5 missed calls. Stella, it's gone live. Hit the sell button. Hit the sell.
I remember I was calling him. Like,
I said, no, bro, we'll be all right. We'll sell when it gets there. Mate, out cold, fell asleep, woke up the next day, boom, 8% down. I said, you know what? We'll get this first flush out, sell, buy the rumor, sell the news. and then we came back up. So we're all good as gold.
So I think one of the major things is, guys, is this ETF is now going to allow for the big institutional players to come and step into the game. If I open up a chart here on Bitcoin and we go back, we take a look at what happened when that ETF got approved, what we saw was a big dump. And actually, on this same chart, I've got the rate cuts that I was talking about earlier marked out. So let's just take a quick look at this. Let's go back to, wow, this is lagging so hard today. You know what? This is an excuse for us to upgrade our tech. It's tax time now. We might have to go and buy some new laptops. Here was when the rate cuts happened, and that's just an example of how the interest rates can obviously propel the market with more liquidity. But this section here, this little part right here, this was when the Bitcoin ETF got approved. Now, this is the way I like to look at it, and I also, earlier I showed you guys this chart right here with the liquidation levels. The way I look at this is, hey, these guys, they want to go buy 100 million, 200 million, 500 million a day, however that looks. What these big guys need to do is they need to form a sideways channel to more or less trap traders into taking long positions where they then set their stop losses below, so that what that'll mean is that if their stop losses are hit, there's enough orders that are going to automatically force being closed that we can scoop up that liquidity, then send the market up. Or they can, not we, we're not doing it, but these big ETF guys.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. So what they'll do is they'll look at this and they'll say, all right, well, we want to buy 400 million. Let's wait for 400 million worth of stop losses to come in. We'll fake out the market to the top. We'll manipulate it to make people think that we're going to go long, trap them in, shake them out, and then go. And what I'm thinking is will that happen now with Solana? Like, will they do the same thing on the Solana ETF? And look, even though it has launched, we're just not right now, we're not seeing a tremendous kind of push from the market just yet. Time will tell on how that looks. But one thing that we do need to talk about, guys, is the fact that now the Solana ETF has been approved and it's live and all of these things. This is now going to allow for more staking ETFs. And if you guys have been tuning into our channel for quite some time, you'd be pretty aware that I've been bullish on Ethereum, right? Yep. I've been bullish on Ethereum, and because we've got more than 20 likes, I'm going to share the coin. We've got 23. And please, guys, if you are enjoying this content, please make sure to smash the subscribe button and also the bell notification so that you guys know when we're live, because next week we're not going to be live from the office. We're going to tell you guys about exciting.
We got some excitement going on there.
We've got something big coming up. We're going to tell you about that in a second. But just quickly, I want to show you guys this altcoin, and then I'm going to tell you about the exciting announcement. So one coin that I'm watching is EtherFi. EtherFi is in the Ethereum staking ecosystem, and I'm quite a believer that now that the first staking ETF has been approved, that we may now start to see more staking related products. And I think ETH is definitely next in line, if you ask me. Like, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but if there was a line of people queuing up, I reckon ETH is ticket number one to go next. So one of the coins I'm looking at right now is ETHFi, and one of the things that just made sense for me was, and look, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you guys to buy this. I just want to show you guys some data. That's all. And you guys go ahead and make your own decisions or whatever you want to do. But I'm looking at EtherFi, and I'm just like, okay, so these guys in revenue, these guys in fees, the amount of fees that they are collecting is $452 million, but their market cap is only $341 million.
Wow.
And it's crazy. And also, like, they are part of the ETH staking ecosystem. And I was like, for me, like, I had a bit of a dabble in that one, and I shared this one early with our community. One thing that you should do, guys, is click on the link in the description and jump in our community. Now, you can see right now, it took a little bit of a dive today, but as the whole market did, like Matty was saying earlier, when Bitcoin comes down, the whole market is just being dragged down heavily with it at the minute. Let's hope Bitcoin, as per my analysis, holds above this line here at around 108K, and then I'll be happy. So yeah, that's one coin that I'm looking at right now, EtherFi. See, it's like low. Looking at it, it's quite low. But Matty, this important announcement.
All right, mate, wait.
What?
Before we get to the important announcement, we have to do one thing.
Who's from Australia? Let us know in the chat if you're from Australia, because you're going to be a part of this.
Yeah, you got to put in Australia or what state, potentially what city if you want to. But before we do that, we got to do it. It's part of the ritual.
Oh, no.
Put it on. Put the screen on.
I don't want to be a part of this one.
It's part of the ritual.
I don't want to be a part of this one.
We got to do it. We are officially on the little Pepe train, and I will start this from the beginning. Could be a rug. We could lose it all. So again, we're only investing what we were willing to lose. But it's at 82%.
You're investing what you were willing to lose.
You bought some.
I bought like $100 worth, bro. This is a casino for me.
I bought 1,000. That's all right.
That's gambling, bro.
That's all right. Anyway, stage 4, stage 19. We're going to monitor this week in, week out. Again, we're going to be very skeptical of this as well because, again, it could be an absolute degen rug. So,
yeah.
But we had to check it. The other big news I had, I mean, I thought it was a good shout out anyway.
Yeah.
Swyftx acquired Caleb Brown for $100 million. So that is massive news from an Aussie perspective anyway. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, wow. All right, let's jump into the
Let's get into...
We've got an important announcement, guys.
Exciting times. This one's a big one.
Trade Travel Tube in the chat just remortgaged into Little Pippi. Please do not. Trade Travel Troopy, I want you to be a part of this.
Hey, you could actually be a part of this.
You're going to slide in my DMs, actually, straight after this. So, guys...
Should we get the picture up?
Let's get the picture up. All right. So
guys, this is a good one. If you want close some of those up, then it'll free up space. Guys, we have a major announcement. And this can potentially involve a lot of you, obviously in Australia. Sed's going to bring it up in a second. So we're going to be integrating with the community in some shape or form where we can. But Sed's going to bring it up right now. I think this picture is great. I think AI did itself some justice this time round. Or maybe it was the prompts that we put into it.
62, man.
No, I reckon it gave you a bit of a nice beard trim, you know? Yeah, you look very, very clean.
Guys, I would like to formally announce the Aussie crypto road trip with Empire. Maddie and I have G'd up. We're
living the Aussie dream.
We are going to live the Aussie dream together over the next few days. We're leaving soon. It's put us under tremendous workload because we've had to prepare this RV, but more or less, we're going on a road trip in an RV, and we're going to be heading from Broadmeadows to Brisbane. That's basically what we're doing. We are going to be heading to multiple different towns throughout Australia, heading up to Brisbane, where we will do a massive conference in Brisbane.
We are doing a conference, yes, at the precinct. It is locked in.
For the 17th of July?
17th of July, starting at 6:30 p.m, finishing at 8:30. We may then head out for a cheeky few after that.
Yep.
But guys, we are going to be...
Bitcoin, beers, and the boys and the girls, of course.
We are going to be... And the big thing about this one, guys, is we want you to bring a friend that is skeptical of crypto and is always called crypto scam and still to this day is unsure of crypto. The whole plan around that, this is a very fun story, but the whole plan around this, guys, is to really get as many people involved as possible because we realize that I'm getting a lot of questions even from family members about crypto. And if you're in the space, it's more than likely you're probably copying the same ones. And sometimes it can be a mission to sort of onboard or try and teach every single person. I basically set up a family call.
Yeah.
I've set up a family call and I'm putting it out there so then I can show everyone in one hit. But said, tell us your story before I list out the suburbs and the towns that we're heading to.
All right. So I've got a mate. I'm not going to name his name because he might be watching this and he'll probably know about it. You might see his name pop up in the comments in a second. We've got a mate who's a concreter and he always used to give me shit. He'd say, Sid, this crypto stuff, it's a scam. You're not doing nothing. You're never going to make it. You know, and he was really down on crypto. He used to give it to my life. And I told him, I go, mate, if I make over $100,000 in any given time, I'm going to get a concrete truck. I'm going to buy my own one and I'm going to park it in your driveway so you can't leave for work in the morning. Now, I made triple that amount within one trade. I didn't go and buy a concrete pump because it's just completely useless to me, but we got my brothers.
You can still your brothers now.
We got my brothers and we whacked it straight in his driveway. And in the morning, the bloke went ballistic because he couldn't leave for work. It was an absolute pisser. So if you've got mates like that see you doing crypto, they're a little bit on the side,
they're like, oh, what is it? I want to know a bit more. I'm not 100% sure about it. Well, this is the perfect event to bring them to because we're going to break it down in a way that everyone can understand what Bitcoin is, and not from a way of, hey, let's trade and make money. It's, hey, no, like I just showed you guys at the start of this call, when the dollar value comes down, Bitcoin can be used as a hedge against inflation. What are the fundamental values that make Bitcoin Bitcoin, and why are people so interested in it?
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that for, maybe 2 hours, and then after that we'll have drinks and just have a good time, get to network, get to meet everyone, and just touch base with the crypto community. But
it's definitely all right. So the road trip, guys, we are going to be hitting up Ballarat. We're going to be going to Shepparton. We're going to Wagga. If you guys have not heard of these towns, these are great towns, right? I have a lot of respect for them, but this is going to be a fun trip. Then we are heading towards Canberra. So if you guys got anything you want to say about Canberra, let us know in the comments below. We can happily have our vote one Bitcoin at Parliament House.
We've got some pretty funny skits coming for this, guys. Wait, there's more.
We are also going to be heading to Sydney, Mount Druitt, Newcastle, Tamworth, Coffs Harbour, then Byron Bay, and then Gold Coast and Brisbane.
And Mount Druitt.
I said Mount Druitt.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are basically, guys, we are wanting to tackle the east coast of Australia across a 7-day road trip, finishing that off in Brisbane. Cannot wait.
And, guys, one of the things, and I want to see in the comments section down below, right? When you think of crypto, what's the type of person that you think? Do you think corporate stiff in a suit? Or do you think laid-back meme coin guy? There's been so many crypto events I've been to, and there's been like blokes dressing up as unicorns. I'm just like, all right, I don't know. But these guys have become whales, and they're like the new industry leaders, these guys. Right. And I guess what Maddie and I want to do is we're going to be raw. We're going to be us. If you've been following us for a while, you know that we're funny guys. We like to have a good time. And this is why I'm telling you guys to smash subscribe, because we're going to be recording this whole journey. We have Serge coming with us, who is a professional filmmaker, and we're going to be making an 11-series YouTube long-form
we got the full vlog going.
It's going to be a full vlog of us in the raw, doing our thing, trading, traveling, and just all things says and stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff that goes wrong in between, and the funny experiences that come with it, like subject.
You're gonna see my root band get maxed out from a stress level perspective. That is a guarantee. And guys, we're gonna be also shooting reels daily, so you're gonna be able to follow along. Our whole mantra of this is we want to bring you guys essentially along for the journey. Right, this is an experience that we want to get in there. We want to share with Aussie towns. We want to compare the old gold to the new digital gold in Ballarat. So there is a lot to be covered in, I would say, still a short amount of time. 7 days on the road to do all this is going to be tough, but man, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a laugh, man. I think. Can I tell them about what we're going to do in Brook?
Nah, we're going to keep it under wraps.
I've kept it under wraps. You have to wait. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Share this with your friends. This is going to be like a Netflix series, but from Temu.
Probably, if not even better. This is going to be fantastic. A lot of fun.
But guys, that's what we're going to leave you with for tonight.
Yeah.
Get ready.
So where do you think our next podcast could be? Smash it in the comments, because guys, who knows where we're going to be in 7 days' time.
We're leaving here in
Could we be already in Sydney? Could we just be in Broadmeadows? Or could we be in Mount Druitt? Who knows?
Yeah, let us know where you're from, because let's catch up along the way.
Yeah.
If you're not in the Empire community, jump in, because you're going to be receiving emails as we get to certain places. Let's catch up pubs, let's catch up for drinks. But the main focus of this is showing the everyday person, hey, this is what we're doing. We're normal people. We're not, corporates that Maddie's a little bit,
We just want to have fun. We want to connect with everyday people, guys.
And show you that everyday people can do this, and this is the result we're going to be doing. We're showing our wins, we're going to be showing our losses, the good times, and probably us surfing in 19-degree weather in the rain. So anyway, let's leave it at that, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's live stream, please consider smashing that like button for us one more time and hit subscribe so that you're going to be included in the put your notification bell on so you can watch our whole series. I'm telling you now, it's going to be better than Squid Game Season 3.
And guys, make sure you come up to Brisbane. We'll see you there.
And if you're in Brisbane, remember, call a friend who's skeptical, get them involved, and come and have a drink on the house with us. Thank you so much, guys.
See you guys.